This was good. Welcome to the Saw My City collection. This is part 103. I left off talking about Planet Asia's Nautica album, which I'll get on. Which I'll finish talking about. This is pretty much where I left off for part 102. So let's get started with the next album. Like I said before, finishing off with Planet Asia's Dirty Digs. Pretty much like I said before, dope MC. Very consistent. I kind of feel like he's like the Sean Price of the West Coast just because of his consistency and features, albums, quality, his aggressive style, dope lyricists. His pen game is on point, very underrated. He's definitely one of my favorite MCs from the West Coast, man. And even though he came out in the 90s, I feel like his stuff now is better than the stuff that he put out before. That's not to take away anything he did with, Rascal when he was with the Cali agents, but just some of the shit that he's been putting out lately, just his whole thing now I've noticed is that he does a lot of collab albums with different producers. Like he did Pain Language with DJ Muggs. He did Abrasions with Gentle Dean, which is a very dope album. I highly recommend checking that out. He did a couple albums with Dirty Digs and stuff like that. But yeah, man, very dope. Him repping Nautica to the fullest. I think it's kind of bullshit that Lil Yachty got the they pay him as the sponsor for Nautica, but he's been rapping Nautica for a minute. But it is what it is. But because Lil Yachty, he's a more commercial MC or rapper or whatever, I guess they gave him that. But make your money. I ain't mad at that. But I just thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, this is Nautica Nagas by Planet Asia and Dirty Digs, released in 2015. I believe this is out of print because you can't even find a copy on his Bandcamp or on Discogs. So glad to own it. Thank you once again to Killer Tapes 93. He gave me the two short albums, the encore and this album. Freddie Lugo hooked me up with the Prince Marky D album, the Executioners, and the Young Buck album. Alright? So shout out to you guys, alright? Next album. I copped this album, got my hands on it, been trying to get this album for a while, finally got it. Album is Y'all So Stupid with Van Full of Pakistans, released in 1993. For those who don't know who they are, they're a group from Atlanta, Georgia. They consist of, I think, 4 members: H2O, Uncle Buck, Spearhead X, Shy Boogie, Uncle Buck, like I said before, Spearhead X, and Logic. So H2O, Uncle Buck, Shy Boogie, Spearhead X, and Logic. Those are the members of the group. They were signed under Rowdy Records, which was Dallas Austin's old record label back in the early 90s. Record label was known for, obviously them. Y'all So Stupid, Illegal. They were actually under that record label too. There's some other names that's escaping my head, but those are only 2 for now that I can think of. But very dope album. Glad I got my hands on this shit right here, and it's surprisingly very cheap online. I got it. I think for like close to like $9 online on eBay. I got it for, which I was surprised, but yeah, very dope album. There's 2 singles off the album, which they both have videos for. 85 South and Van Full of Pakistans. Another dope album, another fun album to listen to. If you guys like groups like UMC's, Black Sheep, who else? UMC's, Black Sheep, Leaders in the New School, people like that, Far Side. I think they would be more into the Far Side kind of things. I think they would be more prone to that. And you pretty much get this, but like I said, it wasn't the norm that you expect from Atlanta, Georgia, especially around that time. But one of my favorite song off the album, it has to be Dirt Road White Girl. Love the beat for that shit right there. Let me turn it down. Sorry about that. Yeah. So like I was saying before, the song "Dirt Road White Girl," my favorite song off the album. Love the beat, but the song is a bit racist. You know what I mean? Because but I don't, like I said, I don't, because I'm friends with everybody. You know what I mean? Like I'm not racist or anything like that. Um, it's just like for that time, because at that time, a lot of people were really big into like the whole pro-black national movement and things like that. So I guess like at that time, that was the norm. That was like the trend at the time. And so not trend, but like little movement that they had going on, like in the early '90s and stuff like that. This just talks about their criticism towards like interracial relationships and just have like white girls that try to act like they're black and shit like that, and things of that nature. So that's what I got from that song right there. But love the beat for that shit. It's really dope. Real jazzy, has like that night jazz feel to it. It's really dope. You can find it on YouTube. Just check it out. But yeah, Y'all So Stupid, Van Full of Pakistans, released in 1993. This is out of print, but I'm pretty sure you can get it for a decent price. So yeah, Y'all So Stupid, Man Full of Pakistans. Next album, these last three, I'm gonna give a shout out to my guy John Dixon. He hooked the nigga up, man. Much appreciated, my guy. Thank you. And the next album, I've talked about it before. Said I needed an album, and lo and behold, I got it. Thanks to him. It is Poor Righteous Teachers with their debut album, Holy Intellect, released in 1993. They consist of 3 members in the forefront. I usually like to say 4, but whatchamacallit, there's 3 members in the group. Father Shahid, rest in peace to him. Culture Freedom, Wise Intelligent. Those are the people that you see you see these 3 right here. And it's an honorable mention. I would like to mention the late great Tony D. Rest in peace to him. Dope producer, very underrated. Yeah, you guys should know who they are. I've mentioned them before. I showed you guys their second album, Pure Poverty, and I showed you guys their third album, Black Business, which Black Business is like one of my favorite albums from them. And then I've mentioned about the fourth and last album that they put out, their final album that came out in '96, the New World Order album. That is hard to come by and it's very expensive, but would love to get my hands on that one day. There's 2 singles off the album, Rock This Funky Joint and Shaquilla. Those are the 2 singles off the album. My favorite song off the album is Strictly Ghetto. Love that beat. That beat is so dope, man. Like, you can just hear the SP1200 just screaming on that album. Like, you just love how dope that beat sounds and shit like that. Very dope. So this is Holy Intellect by Poor Righteous Teachers, released in 1990. Oh, and forgot to mention them with this album right here. This is the only album they ever came out with. And, they got let go of the record label. But a couple of members like H2O and I think Spearhead X, they ended up forming a group called Master Influence. All my underground heads should know about that. Probably heard that name before. They came out with an album called Underground Science that was supposed to be released in 1996, but I don't know if it came out in '96. Oh, according to Discogs, it said it was released in 1996, but the CD actually came out in 1999. So would love to get my hands on that album. Very dope album. It's very dark, very mature compared to the Y'all So Stupid album. So definitely like to get my hands on that joint right there. Alright, so that was enough for Poor Righteous Teacher. Alright, getting down back to the last 2 is Pooh-Man, Funky As I Wanna Be, released in 1992. I've mentioned him before. Pooh-Man from Oakland, California, known for his affiliation with Too Short. He was part of the Dangerous Crew that was formed back in the early 90s. Their introduction was on Too Short Shorty the Pimp album that I mentioned before. This is when he was active in that group and stuff like that. The singles off this album are Funky As I Wanna Be, the self-titled track. That's the name of the single as well as the name of the album. Pretty dope album. I really enjoyed this album. This album definitely reminds me of uh, AMG's "Bitch You Better Have My Money." Bitch Better Have My Money. It's definitely reminiscent of this album, of that album. But to me, the beats were a lot better on this album than on that album. AMG album, the bitch I better get my money. It was cool, but it wasn't the best album in the world. I think this album is a bit better than this album, if not a lot better. The production definitely helped. Um, after this album, you know, he left Jive Records, and he was actually featured on he played Doc in Master Society, and I don't know if you guys remember that I spoke briefly on that his part on Master Society, but I didn't know who he was. Doc is a dude that if you guys see in the scene where you see Doc played by Pooh-Man and Chauncey being played by Clint Powell, I think is his name. Yeah, Clint Powell played Pinky in Next Friday. The scene when they're watching a boxing match, and you know Pooh-Man's just fucking roasting Chauncey, like yo look, that's you right there in the ring getting beat up, like King got beat you up and shit like that, and then you know Chauncey got all pissed off like nigga fuck you, fuck Kane, and you know all that shit. So I thought I'd just throw that out there. So that's who Doc is. And Too Short is in that movie too, but I didn't realize that. I didn't realize until like years later. Also, the other thing I want to point out too, there's an extra track on this album. It's not on the track listing, but it's on the when you play the CD. It's actually 13 tracks. That extra track is the song "Sex Money Murder," where the song is actually featured on the Juice soundtrack. And that song, if you guys remember on the Juice movie, where the scene where all four of them they're walking through the park, and you see the white guy, with the trench coat and the suitcase, all business look like and stuff like that, walking through the park. He sees them four. He's like walking, he's walking away from them, and then Bishop just scares a boom, and then he fucking crashes to the tree, and that shit was. Sorry about that. He crashes into the tree, and they laugh at him with that. I thought that was pretty cool. So that song is actually featured on this album. But this is MC Pooh or Pooh-Man, Funk As I Wanna Be, released in 1992. Last but not least, is an album that I've been trying to get for a while. You guys know, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to show you guys. I've been talking about this album for a while, and I finally got it thanks to my dude John Dixon. I'll call you back. What appointment? What, for what time? For tomorrow? I guess 12. Yeah. But yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. Penthouse Players Clique, Paid the Cost, released in 1992. I just want to say a big shout out to my dude John Dixon, man. Finally got my hands on it. I've been trying to get the sound for a while. You guys should know who they are. I've mentioned them before. If you guys have seen my DJ Quick album reviews, I did a review on his first 3 albums. I mentioned them before. They were featured on the Quick Is the Name album, and they were actually featured on the Way Too Funky album. They were pretty much DJ Quick's mentors when he was homeless, and they kind of took him under their wing and stuff like that, kind of mentored him and stuff like that. And if you guys remember, in the DJ Quick album, the Quick Is the Name album review, if you guys remember, I've mentioned the red tape. Well, they were responsible for distributing that red tape and having it circulating around the hood and stuff like that. So they had their hands on that albums and that red tape and stuff like that. So which was notorious because MC8 felt offended when he mentioned his name on the album and stuff like that. But yeah, really dope album. Fucking love this album. You know, dope West Coast hip hop. They're from South Central Los Angeles. Consists of 2 members, Play Ham and Tweet Cadillac. Those are the 2 members of the group. There's 3 singles off the album. The singles are Trust No Bitch featuring DJ Quick, Eazy-E, and AMG, which there is a video for. PS Fuck You Too featuring DJ Quick, there's a video for that. And Explanation of a Player. And I mean, you can't go wrong with this album, man. Like I said, they're not the best MCs in the world, but I mean, they just lay that pimp shit to the T, man. I mean, I could just tell that's how, you know, DJ Quick got his style from, is like from their shit. And then, you know, DJ Quick, you know, he plays a gangster, but he also plays a ladies man, and that's pretty much what I got from these guys right here, man. I mean, it's dope, but the way they do it is very dope. They're old G's and old heads, but they're, I mean, pretty dope, man. I mean, this is a good album, just from front to back. Very dope. Highly recommended. And that's it, folks. Thank you to Freddie Lugo, Killer Tapes 93, and John Dixon. And shout out to them. And also shout out to Mike Sidge and Ross Hartley. By the way, Mike Sidge has a new podcast. It's called Speak of Clout. Very dope podcast. So far, I've only heard 2. I've heard the first episode was on the Griselda family. He breaks it down on how he got introduced to them. By the way, check out that Conway album, The GOAT, Grammys of all time. It dropped today. Fucking sick. That's all I gotta say about that. Check out the Benny Bush on Steroids. Check out all the catalogs, man. I mean, you're not gonna be disappointed. And the last one he did was on, he broke down Eminem's Revival album. You know what I mean? Like, his thoughts, how he got into Eminem. Kind of similar to what I did. But, you know, I didn't go in depth with the album like he did. He actually went through some of the tracks and stuff like that. So, but yeah, very dope. Speak Your Clout. I'll put that down in the description box. The podcast, very dope. I'm going to check the rest. I think the second episode was, which was better, the Ghostface Killer's first 2 albums, Iron Man and Supreme Clientele. You already know I'm going to say Iron Man. I think that's a better album than Supreme Clientele, but I think Supreme Clientele is a more cohesive album compared to Iron Man, because Supreme Clientele has more subject matter. You know, he gets personal on that album and things like that. And, you know, although you had songs like, what's the name of that song? All I Need Is You, where he talks about how he grew up back in the 70s and 80s and shit like that, which was pretty dope and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's just my opinion. I think Iron Man is the better album, but Supreme Clientele, another dope album too. This is second best in my opinion. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for the support as always. Definitely enjoy your Christmas. Have a happy New Year's. Be safe. This will probably be like the last video I do for the year. Depends on how I feel. I might do a review. Might not sure. Depends how busy if I'm not too busy, because I might have family members come and stay over at the crib and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be pretty busy and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely stay tuned for more. Alright? Peace!